Exactly.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yes.
These AI coding assistants seem to excel at catching problems early on,
Right.
saving us from all those hours of debugging.
Absolutely. It's a proactive approach, which really sets these tools apart.
Now, I have to ask the question that's probably on everyone's mind.
Yes.
Are these AI coding assistants going to replace human developers?
It's a valid concern, and it's one that's often debated.
Mm-hmm.
But I see these tools as powerful allies,
Okay.
not replacements.
I'm hearing a lot of emphasis on augmentation and collaboration
Right.
rather than replacement. Could you elaborate on that a little?
Imagine a world where developers are freed from the drudgery of those repetitive tasks,
Okay.
syntax errors, tedious debugging.
Right.
AI can handle those aspects,
Right.
allowing human developers to focus on the more creative, the strategic, the problem-solving aspects of software development. We can think bigger, innovate faster, and build more complex systems.
Right. So leveraging the strengths of both human and AI.
Exactly.
Humans excel at, creativity and critical thinking
Right.
and understanding user needs,
Mhm.
while AI can handle all that heavy lifting of code optimization and error detection.
And generating those boilerplate code snippets that we all dread writing.
Exactly. A partnership, not a competition.
Exactly. And as AI technology continues to evolve, we can expect even more sophisticated
Right.
and seamless collaboration between humans and machines.
That's a really exciting and optimistic perspective.
It is.
It paints a nice picture of the future where coding becomes more accessible, more efficient, and ultimately more enjoyable for everybody.
Absolutely.
Now, I know we've been talking a lot about the benefits and capabilities
Right.
of AI coding assistants, but it's important to acknowledge that they're not without their limitations.
That is true, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Can you tell us more about those limitations? What should developers keep in mind when using these tools?
Well, one of the key things to remember is that they're still relatively new,
Mm-hmm.
and they're constantly learning and evolving. The suggestions they provide are based on the vast amounts of code they've been trained on,
Right.
but they don't always have the full context
Mm-hmm.
of your specific project
Right.
or your unique coding style.
So it's important to use them with a critical eye,
Absolutely.
not just blindly accepting every suggestion.
You still need to understand the underlying principles of coding,
Mm-hmm.
be able to spot potential issues, make informed decisions about which suggestions to implement.
So it's about finding that balance between leveraging the power of AI
Yes,
and maintaining your own coding skills.
exactly. Your own judgment.
Now, I know you're a big advocate for these tools,
I am.
but are there any potential downsides or concerns that you think developers should be aware of?
One concern that's often raised is the potential for bias in the code that's generated.
Oh, okay.
AI models are trained on massive data sets,
Right.
and if those data sets contain biased code, the AI might inadvertently perpetuate those biases.
So it's crucial to be mindful of the data that these tools are trained on,
Absolutely.
to be vigilant about detecting
Mm-hmm.
and mitigating any potential biases.
Yes, it's an ongoing challenge, and it's one that the developers of these tools are actively working to address.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Any other concerns that come to mind?
Another concern, though perhaps more of a philosophical one,
Okay.
is the potential impact on the learning process of new developers.
Oh, interesting.
If these tools are making it easier to write code without fully understanding the underlying concepts, could it hinder the development of essential coding skills?
Yeah, that's a really thought-provoking question.
Yeah,
It's like using a calculator without understanding basic arithmetic.
exactly.
You might get the right answer,
Right.
but you're not really learning the fundamentals.
Exactly. So it's important to strike a balance between using these tools to accelerate learning
Okay?
and ensuring that new developers are still developing a solid foundation in coding principles and best practices.
So using them as learning aids, not shortcuts.
Precisely. They can provide valuable insights and guidance,
Mm-hmm.
but they shouldn't replace the hard work and dedication required to become a proficient coder.
Well said. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about how AI coding assistants are being used in, real-world scenarios.
Yeah.
Are there any specific examples or case studies that highlight the impact of these tools?
Absolutely. One fascinating example comes from the field of scientific research. Scientists are using AI coding assistants to analyze complex data sets, automate data visualization tasks,
Wow.
and even generate code for simulations and models.
That's incredible. It's like having a research assistant
Right.
who can handle all those tedious and time-consuming aspects of data analysis,
Exactly.
freeing up scientists to focus on the creative and interpretive aspects of their work.
Yeah, and it's not just limited to scientific research. Businesses are using AI coding assistants to build web applications, automate business processes,
Right.
and develop innovative software solutions at a faster pace than ever before.
So these tools are really being applied across various industries,
They are.
pushing the boundaries of what's possible,
Mm-hmm.
unlocking those new levels of efficiency and innovation.
It's truly remarkable to see.
It is. It's clear that they're already having a significant impact on the
Yes,
world of software development and beyond.
absolutely.
But as with any new technology, there are still um, challenges to overcome
Right.
and questions to be answered. Of
That's
course, as AI continues to advance,
Uh-huh.
we can expect even more sophisticated and powerful coding assistants
I think so.
to emerge.
Yeah.
The key is to approach this technology
Yes.
with both enthusiasm and caution,
Mm-hmm.
embracing its potential, but also being mindful of its limitations.
And its ethical implications?
Right, absolutely. It's mind-blowing to think about all the possibilities.
It is.
But let's bring it back to the practical stuff. We've touched upon some of the key features, but I want to explore them in more detail.
Sure.
Our source material was particularly excited about real-time code suggestions and auto-completion.
Oh, yeah.
Can you paint a picture of what that looks like?
Okay, imagine you're writing a function
Hmm.
to, let's say, calculate the distance between 2 points on a map.
Okay.
You start typing the function name,
Uh-huh.
and the AI assistant, like a mind-reading coding buddy,
Right?
it suggests the entire function signature, including the parameters and the return type.
Whoa, so it's not just individual words. It's like whole code structures.
Yeah, based on what you're doing.
That's next-level autocomplete.
Exactly. And as you continue typing, the AI assistant keeps pace,
Wow.
offering suggestions for variable names, control flow statements, even entire lines of code. It's like having a pair programmer
Yeah.
who can keep up with your every thought.
That sounds incredibly efficient.
It is.
It's like the AI is helping you translate your thoughts into code,
Yes,
bridging the gap between your intention and the execution.
absolutely.
And it's not just speed, right? It's also accuracy.
That's right.
I mean, these AI assistants are trained on massive data sets.
Yes, huge amounts of high-quality code.
So the suggestions are probably more accurate
Often, yes.
than what a human developer might,
Yeah.
come up with on their own.
That's right.
So it's like you have access to all this collective wisdom
Mm-hmm.
of thousands of developers.
Yeah, distilled into a single tool.
Wow. Okay, and speaking of powerful features, let's talk about error detection and debugging. The source material made it sound like these AI assistants are almost psychic
Almost.
in their ability to catch bugs before they even happen.
I'm not quite psychic, but they are good.
Okay.
Imagine you're writing a loop,
Mm-hmm.
but you forget to increment the loop counter.
Right, okay.
A traditional compiler won't catch that until you run the code,
Yeah.
which could result in an infinite loop and crash your program.
Oh, those infinite loops, I've been there.
Yeah, but with an AI coding assistant, you wouldn't have to deal with that. The assistant would flag that missing increment as you type, saving you from that headache later on. It's like having a second pair of eyes on your code.
It's like a coding guardian angel.
I like that.
Our source material also highlighted code refactoring as a key benefit. Can you remind us what code refactoring is and how do these assistants help?
Refactoring is all about improving the internal structure
Mm-hmm.
and quality of your code without changing how it behaves externally.
Right.
Like spring cleaning for your code base.
Oh, okay.
You might reorganize functions, rename variables, or extract common code snippets.
So tidying up your code.
Yes, making it more readable, maintainable, and efficient.
But doing that manually can be so time-consuming.
It can, and that's where AI coding assistants are great. They analyze your code and suggest refactoring opportunities that you might have missed. They can even automate some of the refactoring tasks.
Wow, so it really saves a lot of time and effort.
Yes, a huge amount.
Now, here's a feature that I never would have imagined AI could help with. Documentation generation.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me more about that.
You know, documentation is so important.
It is.
It's the lifeline of any software project, right?
Right.
It helps developers understand, use, and maintain the code.
Yeah,
But writing it can be tedious.
it really can. It always feels like an afterthought.
Yes, something you squeeze in at the end.
Right.
But with these AI assistants, it can become a part of the coding process.
Okay.
As you write code, the assistant can automatically generate documentation, including comments, function descriptions,
Wow.
even API references.
That's really incredible.
It's like having a technical writer
Yeah.
built into your coding tool.
So it saves time,
Yes,
but it also ensures your documentation is up to date.
always.
Now, we've talked a lot about the potential of all this.
You have.
But before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your personal perspective. What